First off, Daisy, congratulations on season 3. I've watched a few episodes and have really enjoyed it so far.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
So let's start off by having you set the scene a little bit and talk about where your character is and where the family is basically at the start of season 3.
So we left the end of season 2 with the family in turmoil and divided, and we because Luke and his father Paul had a really nasty fight that ended physically, and so we start season 3 pretty much where we left it, which is which I think people sometimes expect the show to suddenly jump or leap forward in time, and we didn't at all. We started exactly where we left it. Which is a family very much divided, with Luke at home with me, Ali, and Paul living on my mother's sofa, well, living in her house, and us apart in order to try and come back together as a family with any luck by the end of the season, but it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about the show is just the realism about family life and the difficulty of it. And talk a little bit about what it's like for you to play these scenes. I mean, they're very personal, it's very intimate acting. What do you relate to these storylines, or is it something you have to sort of get into to play it?
Well, I mean, I'm married with 2 children. I'm like 10 years behind in terms of the age and all that stuff, the stages. So I tend to look at it as a sort of terrible foreboding. Oh no, I'm going to have teenagers. Oh no, my daughter might suddenly realize that I'm an idiot, whatever it is. But in terms of playing the big emotional scenes, it's always, and in terms of playing any storyline that's really well written, it's just a joy, really. You use all that you can as a person in terms of how you use all your emotional facilities to try and do that well, but also it's just so well written, and Martin's so brilliant to act with. So you just kind of go in there and you use the fact that you can imagine the love, you can imagine how difficult it would be. I can imagine all that so easily. So we just have a great time playing the stories, really, because they are a gift in terms of how they're written.
What is it like to act opposite Martin in these scenes?
He's brilliant. I mean, Martin's great. He keeps you on your toes because he's so good. He's so annoyingly good. How dare he? So yeah, I really enjoy working with Martin. There's a real ease there and a sort of, and it's really nice when you go back and do a series again, because you have this understanding. There's no sort of, you just go straight in, you click in and you do it and you play the scene, and it's really satisfying because you don't have to get to know someone or figure them out. You're like, we know each other, we know how this works, we know our characters. So this season we've got lots of stuff that's thrown at us. We have lots of very difficult, big fights. We have, I get the early menopause. I feel misunderstood. We have loads of big kind of dramatic scenes, and they're just really good to get your teeth into.
And it's at least inspired by some events in Martin's life. Does he bring any sort of insight for you into how to play some of these scenes?
I think that that would be for Martin to answer, in terms of the sort of seed of the idea began with him, and then it's become its own thing, and we talk about the scenes before we do it, and and so if I'm and we both intuit it and talk about it together. So whenever we do a scene, we've had a discussion or we've kind of read it together. I've got a feeling if I'm doing it completely wrong, I'll be told what to do. No, there's we kind of find it and feel it together, and so he's not like it's not like that on set, if that makes sense. I feel like we're 2 actors working on a scene, and it's which makes it sort of even more enjoyable.
Do you have a favorite scene from season 3?
Yes, there's a scene. I'm totally bad at this. I always worry about what I meant to say or not. But there's a scene where I do what is known as a menologue, which is I do a big speech about having the menopause, and then so we call it the menologue scene, about how difficult it is and feeling misunderstood. And I really love that scene because it's sort of very beautifully written by Rebecca Callard. It's very sort of beautifully written and sort of really emotional. And then they make a little. Like they make a good little joke at the end, and I really love that scene.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the scenes with your kids and kind of kids on the show. And, what it's like to play with a younger actor and, try to evoke some of these kind of really heavy topics with them.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they put me to shame. You know, this season especially, and the last season, because the children are not really children. They're sort of teenagers, and they're so clever and good and on it, and actually. They don't question things in the same way that maybe adults sometimes do. So there's a sort of instinctive understanding, and it's actually just really lovely playing with young people who are so sort of in tune with their instincts, and so and just you just do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but they're brilliant, these actors. They're really sort of really evolved and really sort of emotionally intelligent. So it's just I feel very lucky.
Sure. Why do you think that this show has resonated so much with audiences both in the UK and in the US?
I think because it's showing the unfiltered side to family life. I think people really like that. They're used to seeing the other version, that makes you feel bad about your home life and think, oh, I'm not perfect. Oh gosh, I behaved really badly the other day, but that parent on telly is amazing. So I think that people really like the fact that it's got this sort of, unashamed sort of honesty about it. And it's showing some of the darker, harder moments, but also has a sense of humor.